Yo guys, what is up? Welcome back to some more Zero Hour. Welcome back to a free-for-all. Today is a little bit different. I'm actually watching a replay of a game that I played just, I played on the 19th of December. I'm recording this on the 20th, but by the time I post it, I don't know if it'll be the 20th. So I won't say yesterday. You're probably wondering why am I watching the replay back, and the reason is, do you remember those streams where sometimes my PC would randomly just crash and the stream would go offline? I actually thought if I was recording this, I thought my PC might crash because I've just replaced the memory in my PC, and I was afraid it could crash my PC. I didn't want to DC from a challenge. This is a $50 challenge. One game, one winner, $50 for the winner, and that is it. We have loads of strong players in here, so I didn't actually even play that well here, to be honest. Loads of misclicks, so I just played some bad Zero Hour today, I think, but yeah, we'll see how this one goes anyway. We've got me as the GLA Tox, we're on 7-pointed star up here at the top spot. Over on the right side, we've got Shay, one of the best free-for-all players. I'm next to him, and he's also got Tox. Down the bottom right, we've got Humanity. He is with... I don't even know what he's with. USA Vanilla. Down at the bottom we have Rage, Mad Rage with the China Nuke. Down in the bottom left we have Ganja, pro 2v2 and 3v3 player, mainly 3v3 Defcon, really good on Defcon. And then over on the left hand side, not to forget about XCal. He's with GLA Demo, is it? Has he got Demo or just regular GLA? Didn't see that fully. And then up in the top left next to me also is Scuba. So we've got Zero Expert Scuba, Zero Expert XCal, Zero Expert Rage. I'm classed as an expert as well. You got Shay, who's pretty much borderline expert. So I mean, this is probably as high level as free-for-all as you're probably ever going to see. It's rare to get this many experts in one place. And obviously I know what happens throughout this match, so that's why I don't normally cast replays that I'm already in, but I thought free-for-all is a popular video on my channel and you probably will want to see this one. Shay taking over the mid. You can pretty much anticipate Shay is going to get pretty big, taking over the mid, getting 3 oils, multiple tunnels here, supply already there as well. But what Shay hasn't done is actually secured his side. So actually here my plan was to be pretty passive, do a bit of an eco boom, but be pretty passive, but also secure my side. So I wanted to secure this side, and I wanted to secure this side, which is why I've done these tunnels and got these bunkers. Whereas Shay, having now watched the replay back, I've realized actually, even though he's gone heavy mid and he's got these 3 oils, he actually hasn't gone for these supplies to the side of him, which actually is quite a lot as well. Yeah, you got, I think there's 6 crates there, plus the reinforcement pad, which I end up not taking in this game at all because GLA Tox, you've got toxin tractors get dropped off, and how much of use are they really? They probably just give away free XP. Of course, useful for taking out these bunkers and stuff. Now, for me, I do get a little bit lucky here in the sense that when there's 7 players, this is a 7-player free-for-all, hence the map name 7-pointed star. I do get a bit lucky because Scuba being next to me, he's actually going heavy here on XCal. So we've got those 2 fighting. We've got Shay also fighting with Humanity. So that's both of my sides are both preoccupied and busy. And then I didn't notice during the game, but actually Rage and Ganja actually go head to head as well. So that's like multiple 1v1s going on throughout the map, and being a 7-player map, that always leaves one odd player that will be left not in a battle, which is really good for me, really, because I'm just sitting here chilling with GLA Tox. Got 4 supplies already in my main base. That's my 5th supply. I just got 1 oil. Pro tip in free-for-alls, you always want to be big but not look big. Super pro tip. So don't be massive in the middle. Don't take over all of mid. Like, well, I mean, Shay's done it and no one dares challenge him. So maybe that's something I could have done as well. But that was my strat. Just to take a little bit of mid, secure yourself 1 of the oils. Take maybe some of the supplies if you can. Got my oil nice and boxed in there. But then at the same time, because I've got these sides, that is getting my income. So then Rage. I don't think Rage is playing at his peak at the moment. He is pretty rusty because he only plays like pretty much once a month or once every 2 weeks, something like that. And being next to Ganja, who's got USA here, or super weapon even. Got himself super weapon, he's got self-search and destroy. And when this happened, in the game, Rage was going crazy. He was he was not happy being against Search and Destroy these. He actually suggested there should have been a mirror instead because it's not fair. And I do totally agree, but it's a big part of Zero Hour, isn't it? The random armies. And I'm sure Rage wouldn't have been complaining if he got the super weapon against Ganja's nuke. But Ganja really going in for the kill here, wanting to take an extra base. And Rage is kind of holding here with this ECM and the Overlords. Meanwhile, I haven't even fought anyone yet. I've got 26 XP, and that's probably just from the oil cap. I'm actually the first one to be dropping down a Scud Storm here. It's no rules, by the way. We didn't agree on how many super weapons there would be, but I did offer in the beginning, should we just do one super weapon each? But the limit was not ticked. And whilst Ganja agreed we should just do one super weapon, actually Humanity later on builds more than one. And that kind of goes out the window. So it's pretty much 100% no rules. Chat is allowed, all that kind of stuff. So I might leave a link to Anti-Pro. Anti-Pro did stream it, and you see all the chat and the politics going on. But obviously, when we're watching the replay like this, you're not going to see the chat. So I did, yeah, at this point I was just spamming my markets. I was thinking everyone's pretty passive at 6 minutes or 7 minutes in and no deaths. I can't see any of the map. You've got to be anticipating everyone's just bunkering up because it's only one game. It's not a tournament or a long challenge where you've got to win multiple games or multiple points. I did try to go for a dozer here. Get shut down by Scuba. The multiple helixes out. Excal only collecting on 3 workers there. I did notice Excal in the middle. I noticed Shay in the middle as well, and I did think about what can I clear here. Colonel Burton's actually killed that oil there from Humanity. Shay got a decent number of markets. I've got a decent number of markets. But the thing is, Shay's got more XP. He's got only 278, but that's one of the downsides to just kind of sitting and chilling and doing nothing, is that you don't get the XP, so the other players are going to have more support powers before you. It's one benefit of being in battles and stuff like that. Rage still getting wrecked by this single V. Excal is holding against Scuba's aggression here. Now, yeah, I saw that Shay was in the middle, and I saw that he had the refinery and all these workers here and stuff, and you've got to be thinking, okay, that's quite a lot, and you don't really want to leave Shay on all of that stuff. And I think I scanned here at one point and I saw that these two were in a battle. But I did think in my mind that Shay would win that battle eventually. Shay's the super free-for-all player. And yeah, having Buggy's a decent army, all this in the mid, I was thinking we probably should clear Shay from the middle at some point. However, hard to clear Tox from the mid, especially when he's got a fortified structure, he's got the Gamma upgrade already and stuff like that. So I saw an opportunity here. I was thinking at this point we can clear Excal from perhaps this area. We can send a tech RPG with a Rebel inside of it, secure some of these buildings, and then clear this with battle buses. That's what I was thinking. So you see I'm building battle buses. Already got my Jarman out once more to try and get a dozer, to try and get power. Shay has already got power, which I didn't realize at this point in the game, but I did scan it later on, and that's when I realized that Humanity might eventually be losing this battle. Actually, you can see the dozer actually building a tunnel here. I didn't even know that. A lot of this I didn't see during the game. At this point, in terms of politics, there was actually not many politics going on. I think... yeah, I don't think any politics had really gone on here, apart from Rage was begging during the game to actually get back into the game. He needed an oil. And, yeah, he was basically asking who wants to donate him an oil. So he can actually remain in the game. Because he only has a barracks, and that is it. He's pretty much at the mercy of Ganja here, because Ganja can just go here and wipe him out. This is me again, trying to get an oil. Wasn't actually meant to drive in there. I was actually clicking back here, but I don't know if it's like impassable terrain. It forces your Jarman in here. So yeah, at this point, very, very chilled for me. Again, everyone else is in battles, whereas I'm just kind of chilling. It's the perfect recipe to be a formidable force in a free-for-all. is just to be kind of left to your own devices, just to spam the markets and stuff like that. Thing you don't want to do is build 3 Scud Storms at a time and suddenly you'll bam on the scoreboard with 3 Scuds and everyone could turn on you. So I just initially built 1, thinking I probably won't fire it just this point. At this point I've already come in now with a technical, cleared this building. But wary that it's Excal, he's GLA. Didn't know he had power actually, but he's stolen the dozer there seemingly off Scuba. Oh, actually, yeah, that's one thing Scuba did say during the game, actually, that Excal had power. So, yeah, I saw an opportunity here to clear Excal from the middle a bit. Don't want to outright go in and kill him. He probably will lose this army eventually. But if I can at least clear some in the middle and just hurt Excal a little bit, Excal being the strongest player in the in Zura, you don't want to let him... If you see an opportunity to hinder him a little bit, take out some markets, take out an oil, then by all means go for it. Especially when I was thinking about the XP here. You see how I'm on 918 now, which is actually more than Shay, more than Rage, who've been in battles for ages, because I got that CC kill, killed a few tunnels and stuff like that. I was thinking more about the XP. XP is very, very important. Yeah, every tunnel I clear here gets me another 100 XP. Or 101 XP. Only politics going on here was that Excal said green is huge, which I suppose is kind of true. I did really want power though, because spamming these battle buses is painfully slow without power, but it's insanely fast with power. So Excal here losing more markets. Again, I'm just really after the XP, but also it's a 2 birds with 1 stone really. You're getting the XP, but you're also slowing down or taking away the economy of one of the strongest players in the entire game. So definitely good. If I still have a rebel in there, I do actually. So yeah, it's just more and more kills, clearing Excal from the middle, weakening him, which will probably, if Excal survives, because it looks like yellow's coming in as well actually. Yeah, Excal's getting a bit 3v1 here, which is actually very, very bad. In a big free-for-all with loads of high-level players though, this is going to happen at some point. Free-for-alls, 2v1s, 3v1s, a lot of it is luck of the draw. It's completely luck of the draw that I've been left alone until this point. Particle Cannon now from Humanity is attacking Shay, but whilst I've just cleared Excal from the middle, I am scanning Shay here to check on the situation, and I saw that particle hit, but also eventually with power, and I don't know if he's got Search and Destroy now, eventually Shay is going to wreck this guy. That's what I'm thinking, and Shay has all of the middle as well, and he's got multiple Scuds out, so my next target for me is to go for Shay. So actually, you probably like this talk through of me watching the replay. It's rare I do this and talk through my mindset and stuff, because sometimes during the actual game I am very quiet while I'm focusing on what I want to do. Yeah, I didn't know that, but Ganja actually came in from the back here and killed him. I actually thought in the real game when it was live, I actually thought that Scuba had killed him alone with the help of me there. Didn't realize that Ganja, this unstoppable force of laser tanks and Avengers, just came in and wiped him out. So we can blame Ganja for that. Rage did get allowed to take one of the oils. I think he thought that Excal gifted it to him, but I don't know if Excal really had a choice because he was busy fighting 2 or 3 guys. But Rage is in the game now, still with 1 oil. But he's in a very difficult situation. He's pretty much dead. Yeah, and at this point, if we look at my view, I can see Shay's massive. I can see all of his stuff. And I was watching this kind of area because you can see these 3 particles. And if you see units here, or you see like things like that, for example, you can see that during the live game. It's a bug. If you see him with Avengers and stuff, and you see him pushing into his base, you've got to be thinking, okay, this is getting bad for humanity now. You do not want to allow Shay with loads of room to breathe. So I was thinking, okay, what we'll do, we'll mass 20 million battle buses, and we'll go in and try and kill Shay in one big attack, because he won't be expecting it. He's pumping all of his units into Avengers, quads, buggies, stuff like that. Then what we'll do is come in with gamma buses and try to wipe him out. And also I've got a Scud Storm as well, so you could preemptively hit his production or his palace or both and go in. That's what I was thinking. Over on this side, you don't know at what point Scuba, now having cleared and secured this point, you don't know at what point he could turn on me, so I bunkered in all of this defense. But if you've got a side where someone's just built a bunker and not really attacking you, don't really want to provoke them. Mind you could say the same about Shay, but I wasn't feeling Nuke could be much of a threat later in the game. You've got to think about what armies are going to be a threat, and the threat is a GLA Tox with power. It's Shay. You've got to be thinking this is going to cause you some problems later. So the next target for me is definitely Shay. But Gan just looking massive, actually. Ooh, nice Aurora. Very nice Aurora. Air bomb kind of misses the target, gets one quad. Shay really wants to expand here to this area. Trying to take out this Scud. I'm still preparing all of this, and that's my Scud actually that I've just fired. Yeah, so this is the first time I'm proper declaring war on someone now, because we cleared Excal in the middle. That's what not 100% war really, is it? You know, there's no repercussions, but actually Scudding this guy like this, you can pretty much anticipate this is going to cause a bit of rivalry. At this point, Shay's just spamming on the keyboard. Wow, green's huge. Green's already won. Green's going to win. That's where the politics comes in. He uses a defensive Scud there and actually whole modes a load of buses. Big hit, really. But I did preempt there was going to be a Scud there. I did double think about it, hesitate a little bit, which is why I lost them. I should have gone straight back, really. But some of these buses aren't even completely full. Some of them are actually empty or just got one RPG in there. But yeah, I'm thinking at this point, this is where I was a little bit nervous here, because I was thinking we need to kill Shay ASAP. We've declared war on probably the strongest, well, the next strongest player here. You don't want to... I was in a really good position. I don't want to mess that up and then end up in a 2v1 or 3v1 through my own doing. So that was the kind of pressure here. When there's money on the line. $50. Thanks to Alfie Ace for the sponsorship of this. So yeah, I'm actually floating 25k. Trying to produce these 3 arms dealers. I think the thing is I was running out of space as well. Got some more arms dealers here. And yeah, I was thinking we could pick off the dozers here of Shay as well. But as I've said before in free-for-alls like that, epic one I recently played, what's called Absolute Carnage or Absolute Chaos, whatever I called it. When you've got the element of surprise and you declare war on someone, you better be sure you're going to be able to kill them with minimal damage to yourself. Just one shot, kill them, go in with all the battle buses. You want to delete them from the map without being in a prolonged war. It's not a good position to be in as a long, prolonged war like humanity was getting in, for example, because the position you leave yourself in is so weak that when you're in such a good position that I was in, and then you do come in, you want to just wipe him out. Don't leave him in the game. You don't want to leave Shay, even with a CC or a few workers or whatever. You want to wipe him out completely. That was my thinking, but he does have all of this in the middle, so it's going to be quite a tour order, I'd say. Quite a lot of people on 5 stars now. Rage is still here, kind of chilling. He's on that 1 oil there in the middle. Another reason for wanting players to get out completely is that in a mismatch situation or a crash or anything like that, the game is read with the alive players. So if you leave Shay like half alive and then it has to be read and played on a smaller map, then he could want revenge. It's also a strong player you've got to deal with again. If you've got the opportunity to get one of the strong players out, then definitely take it. That's another Scud launch from me. I think this one is going in the middle. I think I saw his palace, saw his base. I want to completely wipe him out. I'm on a mission now to completely delete Shay. I'm not afraid at this point of Nuke. Not afraid at this point of the USA, because my spam of markets, Tox tunnels, buggies and quads, I'm pretty confident we'll be able to wipe him out, especially when he's been in a prolonged war. And Shay's still going crazy on him, by the way. Maybe he's thinking at this point that he wants to try and take over this position because he knows I've taken that spot. Maybe he wants to rebuild in this position. But I was thinking at this point, we're not going to let Shay off the hook. We need to delete him now. But yeah, Shay's actually using his whole army still on humanity. So is that a good move there from Shay? Or is he in a bad situation anyway? I think he's probably dead anyway. One thing that did slow me down here is actually the tox radiation from the Scud is still there. So if you send your buggies too close, they will just die. But actually, it looks like they've gone already. Okay, so this is where things are going to start to heat up a little bit. No pun intended with the particle cannon's hot laser beam in my base, taking out all the markets. He's actually taking out my palace as well, which actually stops my buggy production. Meanwhile, Scuba's now got neutron shells. Watch this. It's a full tunnel there of battle busters and buggies and whatever else. I didn't realize this initially until I clicked on my tunnel and realized there's no units inside of there. But that is that's absolutely huge, because GLA not being able to use his tunnels is so annoying. Here comes the Tox Bomb. I think that's wiped out all of his workers now, so I think Shay is worker hunted. And he is completely wiped out. So that's what I mean. When you go for someone, you've got the element of surprise. You want to completely nail him to the floor. You want to completely wipe him out and don't leave him. So yeah, Shay is considered now completely out. He's only got one barracks and one market. I suppose he could capture a building with a rebel, but it's highly unlikely. Nice little leaflet there and a fuel air bomb from humanity. But Scuba's still clearing my tunnel, and this is really difficult to deal with because he's got mines there. He's got a bunker and mines there as well. The counter to this really is just to sell the front line of tunnels, even though it's painful to do that because tunnels obviously a really good defense and cost you 800 a piece. It is really difficult. Particles keep hitting me continually. He's actually done a big line there from my base and taking out loads of markets. So whilst I was floating loads of cash, still am floating loads of cash, by the way. This is where my macro isn't very much on point, because even though I've expanded here nicely, it's still not as fast as I would have liked. And also, rebuilding these markets here could be faster as well, but it's primarily getting all these workers here. But I'm multitasking a lot at this point. You've got to think we've got to kill Shay. Could do with killing Rage here in the middle. Got Humanity here on the side as well, and they've got this guy actually Scuba shooting the neutrons. Used Rebel Ambush there to kill one of them, but he's actually got more nuke cannons. I don't think Scuba's playing this right, to be honest, because he's in an okay position just to kind of chill at this point. I'd be spamming like 20 million hackers, but actually what he's doing is actually attacking still and causing war and stuff. He actually captures my CC here, which I actually didn't even realize in the game. That's a big mistake, that is. Huge mistake. But he can't produce any workers though, because the stock's tunnel right there. But he's still hitting my tunnels. Shay's now out, by the way. Cleared Shay from the mid. And even though Rage at this point was begging, he really was begging. I was just thinking if there's a mismatch or a crash, then Rage could be considered still alive. So better just to kill him and get one of the expert players out, 100%. Do that while we can. Rage was begging for survival here. But just to get him out and just to delete him increases your chances of winning the prize pool. So now there's a 1 in 4 chance rather than a 1 in 7 that there was before. You could argue higher than 1 in 4 really, because my army's better than the 2 surrounding people, but Ganja is still a big force to be reckoned with. That was a nice particle there from Humanity. I don't know if he's hitting the right person or not there. I think he probably should have been hitting me. Ganja preparing a massive drop of these. Yeah, this is the point where I was starting to get a bit frustrated, because not only was I not impressed with my own macro, trying to build more markets, trying to build more scuds, trying to manage my money, trying to build all the army and stuff, but then I'm getting hit by Humanity here by all the support powers, getting particled in my base consistently with all the markets getting taken down, plus I can't use any of my tunnels because Scuba's being this super annoying guy with the neutrons. So at this point I was getting a little bit annoyed and frustrated and thinking maybe I've created enough attention that's going to result in a 3v1, and whilst my position is individually probably the strongest here, combined against 3 or 4 players is definitely too much at this point. But yeah, I was thinking at this point, Scuba's looking probably pretty hard to kill because of these mines and the bunkers and stuff like that. Whereas Humanity, I can probably just send a load of units into his base and probably kill him. And then that just gets the support powers of one of the guys off me. And then it would just be a 2v1 against Ganja and Scuba. But actually Scuba, again, playing this wrong, I believe. He said during the game he just wanted to cause carnage rather than just go after one player. But I do think he's playing it wrong. In the correct way to try and win the money would be to spam more and more hackers and just kind of go into hiding and just kind of chill. But he's not really producing the hackers. He's only producing from 1 barracks. Need to be producing from more like 5. And you need to also just stop attacking everyone and just let the other players fight it out. But yeah, he's kind of just attacking everyone, and that forces Ganja now to go over here a little bit, draws his attention, which allows me to come in and kill more of Humanity. So yeah, Humanity's still in the game. He's still got a CC, and he's got this drop zone. I'm flowing 9k. Again, this is where I could be like with these workers building more drop zones and stuff, but I was actually getting attacked from this side as well. You've got to be careful of these helixes. Those neutrons just keep hitting my tunnel, which basically makes the tunnels completely impossible. Plus, this massive drop turns out is going to come on me from Ganja. He's actually created a space there for himself with the particle cannons, and then been a massive drop. The thing is, for me, he's primarily dropped Avengers here. Only dropped a few Vs, only 3 Vs there. A few of them did get shot down on the arrival. Ganja's actually gone in for this crazy D-Day drop. Now, at this point, I thought the only way to clear that properly is to actually just scud it. So actually, I used one of my scuds here to actually just hit that and just clear it. And even though it's damaging my base a little bit, it easily deals with that without much effort, and it also gets the bounty money from all them kills as well. And Ganja probably not expecting it. I mean, if I had map hack, it would have been a nice hit there as well. Well, the next scud would probably be a nice hit there. Yeah, at this point, again, like I said before, with the theory on killing Shay, is when you attack a player, you better be sure you're going to kill him completely. Wanted to kill that CC, because I know if I don't kill that CC, and if I don't kill that drop zone, he's probably eventually going to be able to rebuild, and he's going to be consistently able to use them support powers on me, which is going to annoy me even more. But at this point, I'm fighting on kind of like 3 fronts. You're kind of fighting this guy, you're fighting this guy, and this guy's doing all kinds of drops and particles. It does get a little bit overwhelming at times. And you do, some points, I was thinking, oh, am I going to win this in a 3v1? Should I just quit? But sometimes it's just good to hang in there. It's good to just hang in. Yeah, 2 particles ready to fire. 1 is going to fire right now. The good thing about building scuds is not only obviously can you scud the enemy all the way across the map, but also it keeps his particles busy. It's better for him to use 2 particles there on 1 scud rather than kill 5 or 6 markets or even 10 markets. If they're all built in a line like this and you've got 2 particles, you could probably kill 10 markets all in just 2 shots. So yeah, that's one good thing about producing the scuds, that it keeps his particles busy. He's always having to hit the scuds. Bit of a failed Spectre there. But Scuba consistently being annoying and annoying. A GLA when you're not able to use the tunnels is very, very frustrating. One of the main frustrations in this game. So in the end, I just think, screw it, man. We'll just send a load of buggies over here. Even if we lose stuff to this bunker, we just have to take out those nuke cannons. Because yeah, when your tunnel just keeps getting cleared, if you forget even once and you load your tunnel up and your whole tunnel gets cleared, that's such a massive loss. But the whole time I was just thinking, no matter how much damage I'm taking, if we just keep up the production, wow. Rarity to see that. If we just keep up the production of black markets, it doesn't matter how much damage we take, how many units we lose, how many more markets or how many scuds we lose. As long as we've got like 20 markets or 25 markets at the whole point, then you're always still in with a fighting chance. It doesn't matter if he has 7 particles, as long as you keep on top of the market production. Which I still think I could be more on top of. Like even now, it could drop down an extra 1 market. I don't even know what I'm looking at this point. I think I'm just complaining about 3v1 at this point. So yeah, we've killed them nuke cannons, which is the main thing, because not being able to use your tunnels is so annoying. And if you've been in that situation before, but yeah, the neutron shells that you get from the nuke is so annoying. Yeah, taking a little bit of the sting out of Scuba with the neutron cannons gone down. And also taking out one of his oils as well. And neutron cannons are back. It's literally one of the most annoying units. It is. But at this point I said, wow, look at the army of yellow in the middle. Look at how many particles he's got. And I think Scuba did think actually... Yellow is causing a bit of a problem here. And actually that nuke cannon there with a double shot did help me out a lot, actually, taking out two of these Avengers. And allows these buildings to actually do more damage as well. Taking out a V there as well. So that's helped quite a bit. Another Scud Storm going up for me. Just trying to rebuild my base. Don't know if he is using the support powers on me or not, but humanity's in a bad way because of all that damage we just did before. Again, 2 particles and 1 Scud. Having the amount of cash that I have, though, I can just afford to rebuild that. I don't even know if I rebuild it in exactly the same spot. Bit of a yellow fire going on there. Yeah, just consistently rebuilding, remacroing up. You don't want to just leave gaping holes in your base not covered with markets. Always want to be reducing them as well. Still clearing my tunnels here. The only choice is either sell the tunnel or just go in with the buggies. Yeah, you're probably going to lose a few buggies for it as well, but as long as you take out that nuke cannon, it's so annoying. He's even got nuke mix now, by the way. Yeah, so I'll lose a few units, but at this point, because I'm on top of the market spam, not too fussed about losing a few buggies here and there. Better to kill the nuke cannon. That Scud's already fired somewhere. I don't even know where I fired that. Where did I shoot that? Where did I shoot that? Oh, did I shoot it here? Yeah, I must have shot it here. Yeah, it's killed his market. It's killed his power and whatever other buildings were there, the ranges and stuff from any buildings. Yeah, if you're unsure about everywhere to hit a palace, hit a strategy center, or hit some oils. Always good to hit oils. Especially a player like Scuba in this situation, only having a few hackers take away his 2 oils. This is primary income, really. Yeah, Scuba throughout this was saying, I can't win anyway, so I'm just going to attack everyone. I don't think that's the way to play, to be honest, when there's money on the line. I really think spamming the hackers is always a way to win, especially when he captured that GLA CC before. He could have used that time to clear that whole area. I don't know what happened to that CC, by the way. It just looks like he just sold it. Humanity's got a load of Crusaders. That's just from the reinforcement pad. I didn't even capture the reinforcement pads the whole way through. Maybe I should have. Yeah, a few free trucks and tractors, but it's getting in the way a lot of the time. It's not like it's a buggy or a quad or actually something useful. Just look at how many Avengers he's got here. He's way too heavy on the Avengers, I think. They're expensive, man. Just get rid of 3 of them and make them into 3 search and destroy Vs, I think. Particles ready to fire. A bit of downtime here, it looks like. But I'm actually all out of Scuds at this point, and this is the point where I just say, look at how many particles it's got. I've got no super weapons myself at all, because Yellow's taking them all out. At this point, is Yellow going to win? And actually, I'm getting cleared here from the middle as well. So, yeah, my usual politics coming into it. Here comes a nuke mix. Particles hitting my base again. At this point, it didn't look that great for me. Oh, it doesn't look that great for me, really. Having this massive army here, as well as particles consistently hitting you. Humanity could continue hitting you at any point. It's not an ideal situation, but it's the lack of laser tanks here. Lack of Vs, really, as well. And buggies and quads. really still do counter this. One Tox Bomber also could reset this as well, but maybe that's why he's got heavy Avengers actually. Tox Bomb gets shot down pretty easy. Here comes a nuke from Scuba. And it is a legendary one. It is a legendary one. He said multiple times he just wants to cause carnage, and that was a bit of a lifesaver there. No, don't know about a lifesaver, but it really makes my day a lot easier for sure. It really takes the pressure off. There's no pressure on me now at all, really. Apart from the particles obviously still going to continue hitting me. But again, you keep up the scuds. Keep up the production of the scuds. And it really keeps the pressure on Ganges to keep hitting the scuds rather than the markets. It's much easier to rebuild one scud than it is to build 5 markets. Plus whatever stingers he takes down during the meantime. Here comes artillery. It really takes the sting out of Ganges' attack, to be honest, doesn't it? I didn't realize this during the game, but when I watch it back now, actually taking out that war factory, these 2 forward barracks, and taking out that army and that EMP, but it didn't really do much but the EMP anyway. All of that stuff really takes a sting and kind of resets things. Humanity's kind of got no chance really still. Only got 1 drop zone still. These markets, man. Rebuilding all these markets is so painfully draining. Especially if your worker dies in the process, you've got to get workers there, then you remember to rebuild them all. Have you got enough cash? Yes, I do in this case, but... yeah, need to get them scuds back online. I did try multiple times throughout this game to try and get power, but failed, actually. Yeah, failed a hell of a lot. Usually I was going around the back here to try and get it off Humanity, but he was always on top of it. Building the strat there, you see the bike coming a mile off. The strategy reveals stealth. Here comes a Spectre from Humanity. I think Humanity's making a mistake here. I think he should be chilling more and just keeping quiet, building drop zones. I don't think he should be using his army to clear anything, because this is all he has. If he loses this to like a buggy pop or whatever, or an anthrax bomb or anything. Oh, here is an anthrax bomb actually, but I think he clears it instantly. Yeah, he clears it. It caused some damage, but he still clears it. Yeah, at this point I thought the pressure's been taken off from Ganja now. We've got Humanity coming in here, but I should be able to hold on to this, even with just tunnels or just a few units. Should be able to just put that on guard mode and probably will hold against this. But then I thought, actually, Scuba keeps coming in with these nuke cannons. If we can just completely get him out, get the annoyance that is those nuke cannons out, and then we can just focus on the 2 USAs, I could probably handle yellow and red in a 2v1. That's what I was thinking. But yeah, particles hit me pretty much throughout this entire game. So annoying. But the whole time it's just important to keep rebuilding straight away. Keep covering the map with markets and scuds. At least one of the MiGs went down there, I suppose. Yeah, my whole army got wiped out. But again, having loads of cash, having loads of markets is decent. That's a double particle cannon, by the way. Taking out another scud. But you see what I mean? That eliminates the use of 2 of these for 1 scud. It keeps him busy. Whereas I can fire 1 scud back. I think I hit here. Not 100%. Just check on my view, actually. Why have I shot this? Oh, I've actually shot it here. I actually thought Scuba still had an oil. But that must have died when Excal had it. But at least you're going to kill a few hackers, though. Because that is a good, like, what, 25% of his economy? Because the 75% of it is it's from the internet center. So, yeah, any cash you can take away from is good. As long as you kill 4 hackers, still decent. Better than hitting absolutely nothing. But still, man, more particle cannons. Don't think I've ever taken this many particle cannons to the face in a while. But Ganja is the man to do it. Puke Wings is so strong with the defense, though. But yeah, anything I can take out here. I know my economy's better than his, so if we can just clear as many buildings as possible. Also, yeah, I got the feeling during the game that he wasn't in the mood for trying to win the game. Where's that nuke gonna hit? Oh, it's weird, actually. It's weird because he's killed a lot of units there as well. Was there a lot of units there or not? It's weird, he's actually taking damage from me, but meanwhile attacking here. Yeah, that's why you get the feeling he's actually not trying to win properly. I think Scuba just joined for the fun of it. Like, he's still using all the support powers here on Ganja, which is obviously perfect for me. Basically helping gift me a win, really, isn't it? I mean, Ganja's still super strong, but I didn't know all these support powers and the MPs and everything was going on Ganja at the time. But now looking back at it, it's actually reset his power. So now that's just inviting a victory for me, surely. Yeah, my spam here just continually pushing Scuba back. I think I hunted Scuba at this point. I think I used double scud on his CC. So yeah, Scuba's hunted, but I didn't actually know that for sure, but looking at it now, I can see he clearly is. Ganja's power now back online. Humanity slowly rebuilding the drop zones. He's also building it being super illuminated. One search and destroy V. While my whole focus is kind of over here, this has just been pretty much an annoyance. Yeah, you only need a few buggies and you should be able to push this back. It weakens it a little bit, taking out a few missile defenders, but actually that V survives in bed too. Sneak attack there gets shut down by Scuba. Ganja's floating 13k here. I think one of my scuds landed here, by the way. I think he should be spending more of his money and building more drop zones, covering more of the map and EMPs and stuff like that. I know he's laser, isn't he? Not yet. That's super weapon. Yeah, I still think there should be more drop zones spread more thinly around the map. At least recovering this area where I've already scudded. He's spending more of his money now, but maybe that's on production. Yeah, he's still continually hitting me. One of the reasons I wanted to clear Scuba as well was to actually expand to cover more of the map, so these particle cannons can do less damage. Yeah, it's quite a lot of particles there from Ganja. Considering at the start, we said about doing one super weapon, but then Humanity was the first guy to actually make 3. Where's my Scud hit? Yeah, my Scud's hit here because that's one of the few things revealed on the map is this strategy center. Because these particles are actually near it. Taking away the search and destroy is really good because then this army, if it does push me, will be a lot less effective. You'll have to come in range of the tunnels and the tunnels will be able to fight back. But that's another particle cannon and probably another dead Scud. Trying to rebuild this one here, but it's actually stuck on 2%. I mean, yeah, through this, even though it looks like I'm in a strong position, I wasn't impressed with my own macro. Like, floating 30k here. Even though I have been hit by a lot of... He's dead somehow. I don't even know how he's dead. I think he just gave up and quit because he had a tournament. But yeah, even though I am under a lot of pressure, I got power here, by the way, which is... I stole it from there. And this is kind of the turning point now because as soon as I get on power, spamming on 4 or 5 war factories or even 7 war factories, whatever, and actually then you can just attack move or double tap Q. QQA. QQA into the middle, and then if I get search and destroy as well and start covering more of the map in Scuds and stuff, there's no way really that Ganja's going to be able to answer it. Does that land? No, it doesn't land. That's one good thing about having all these Avengers. Yeah, these particles were annoying. At this point, I'm still aware, even though I've got a decent ground army, he's still got loads of particles. Scuba is kind of still in the game, but only with 2 helixes and an internet zoner. So he's got a decent amount of cash, I think. Leaflet has come in and disabled that, but as soon as I get a power plant now, the production is just made so much easier. And at this point, I thought I'm kind of on the home straight now because my Scuds are all building at twice the rate, even with sneak attack back here. And at this point, I think this should be a victory. The $50, I can smell it. I don't think Ganja even saw this sneak attack for a while because he even flies an MOAB over here. There we go. Yeah, he didn't see this until like literally 2 minutes later. By that time, I've already expanded his base with loads of tunnels just in case the main sneak goes down. You've got all these workers with all these tunnels. It's a lot harder to clear. Did think this army was still going to be formidable. And if this was Dark 9, this would be a lot more formidable than this. Because there'd be so many more laser tanks, there'd be so many more drop zones, but I think because it's Ganja, he didn't even see the sneak in his base. And actually what I was thinking is if we can take the power away, not only does it stop his particles, but it also stops this army dead in its tracks because all the laser tanks here are rendered useless. So then we can just pretty much use tunnels, buggies and quads and pretty much kill all of this. It's the laser tanks that are the main threat, really. At this point, Ganja sees all this in his base, but yeah, way too late. I think I even trolled him in the game and said, yeah, it's easy when your opponent's blind. Yes, Ganja called me lucky, said that you're a lucker. Said, well, the sneak attack is easy when your opponent is blind. Yeah, at this point, I can just spam loads and loads of war factories. That's what I was saying before, is that even though I was under a lot of pressure in terms of the macro, like I said in the beginning, I wasn't that impressed with my own level of play. I think I should have been faster. Like, look at this. Just sitting there with all the workers. I mean, at this point, it's probably considered one. Misclick there on the black market and stuff like that. That's why I said in the beginning I wasn't that impressed. I think I played bad in general in Terraria yesterday. I do think I got extremely lucky in the beginning, in the sense that everyone in the beginning was doing a 1v1 between each other. Scuba is now out. It's just me in a 1v1 against Ganja. Yeah, I got lucky in the beginning because I kind of got left in that spot, whereas everyone else was involved in a 1v1. I think that's one benefit of a, or maybe one downside of a 7-player FA, that always one player will get stuck, or left alone rather is probably the correct terminology. I suppose this is where my macro is getting a bit better. I'm actually spamming these markets and stuff, and I've expanded over here. Yeah, a lot of the time I was leaving gaping holes in my base, or I was slow to rebuild because there was lack of workers and stuff. But I suppose looking back on it, it wasn't a 3v1 situation a lot of the time, and it was at one point getting to me when the particles just kept hitting and hitting and hitting. But you just got to kind of keeps producing the scuds, and it keeps his particles busy. And that's the key. Another sneak attack over here. And at this point, Ganja's got absolutely no chance. I think they had the best chance before, when it was like kind of a 3v1 and they were hitting me from all sides. That's when it was a lot of pressure. I mean, yeah, at this point, you can literally just select all units and just attack whatever. It's completely GG. And that is it. It was quite kind of a relief to get that one over, because it was mentally draining. 1.3 million collected. Units lost, 609. Units destroyed, 596. Not even a good ratio, really, is it? But I suppose when you're on the power spam and all the support powers and everything I took, it was never gonna be the most prettiest. But as long as you keep up the spam and keep up those markets, like buildings lost 102. Would you look at that? Buildings destroyed 159. Buildings lost. Most of that was probably just from the particles from Ganja. It's so annoying. So anyway, yeah, GG. Sorry I didn't record the gameplay of this, but I did want to go back and watch it. Massive shout out to FFA, just because it was a game with so many experts involved and it was $50, so I thought I'd at least do some effort and go back and watch this one, because it's kind of annoying when you know everything that's going to happen at most of the points. Apart from like Under the Fog of War, there was a few things I didn't know. But yeah, usually I don't like going back and saying, oh yeah, look what I did here, or look what I did here, when I know every move. It's kind of like cringy. But you probably enjoyed more talking, because usually when I'm playing, I'm just like kind of just quiet while I'm trying to win. So GG, shout out to Alfie Ace, and I won $50 for this challenge, which is really cool. This map's called 7-Pointed Star, and it's in my Discord channel in the Domi Useful Files and Map section in Map Pack 1 or Map Pack 0, one of the first map packs. So yeah, GG, well played, and see you